Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Kind of a wild morning because I forgot that I had to see my therapist today, but it's not our usual day and it's not our usual time, so my routine's all messed up. I have challah dough raising in the oven, and I wanted to share that tip that if it's winter time and you have an old house that gets cold, or if you live in a cold climate in general, to help your dough rise, your yeasted dough rise, don't turn your oven on, turn the oven light on. And that will create a warm enough environment to activate the yeast and help the fermentation process and the rising process. But it won't be so hot that it'll cook your dough. So that's my tip. I am using the same challah recipe that I have been using since I was 16 or 17 years old. It's from this book called In the Jewish Tradition by Judith Fellner. The cover, like the dust jacket, is long since got disintegrated. But in her Rosh Hashanah section, she's got this round holiday challah recipe, and guess what? If it's not the high holidays, instead of making it round, you braid it. It's not that hard. This recipe is pretty foolproof, and if teenage Julia, who wanted to make challah, said, how hard can it be? And I still produced a loaf of bread that was edible. Like if teenage Julia can do that, you can do it. I don't know if this book is still in print, but your library may have it, or may be able to source it for you. And it's got something fell on the floor. It's got a lot of good info about the Jewish year and holidays and festivals. So if you're curious, that might be a good resource for you. It's got pictures and recipes. So, it is a very blustery day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. The power went out for about 20 minutes once already due to the high winds. So fingers crossed that it doesn't happen again while the bread's in the oven. That's what I got right now. I am going to do some stitching and figure out what I can talk to you about. I could show off my cross-stitch designs. I will think about it and get back to you. But yeah, hope your day's going well. Oh, it's HoliVlogs day 4? Or is it day 5? What day is it, Mr. Fox? It's day 5. Thursday, December 5th. I'll see you later. Behold. I got 3 loaves. The recipe, like traditionally, one recipe would make 2 loaves, but it's just the 3 of us. And I make other bread for the week, so I find that the smaller loaves for the Shabbos, it works best for us. These are not my best work. They stuck together a little bit. The thing is, so I have to put them on this teeny tiny tray. And the reason I have to put them in this teeny tiny tray is our oven died. It actually died at the beginning of Rosh Hashanah this year. Like, guests were a half an hour away. It was awful.
And it caught fire.
And it caught fire. We put it out. So, on one hand, GE, our previous oven was also a GE. And it was installed in this house in 1963. And it finally gave up the ghost in 2024. So if you need a product endorsement for an oven, you could do worse. I'm not being paid to say this. I'm just letting you know. Now, the problem is you can't get double wall ovens in the size that you used to. You see this gap? They come this much smaller or like this much wider. They don't make that size anymore. So we had to buy the smaller one and then put these shims in. It was a whole thing. But anyway, it's little in there. Sorry to blind you with the light. It's little in there. So our old baking sheets would not fit. So I have to use this little guy. We have more. I could have put them on too, but I really didn't want to. Anyway, so here is challah. I'm going to probably keep this one out once they're cool, and then I'll put these two in bags in the freezer for the next two weekends. That's the way we like to do it. But yeah, anyway, pretty much foolproof challah. If you're not afraid to take the plunge and just give bread making a go. Okay, so yeah, it's been kind of a weird day. Tomorrow's also going to be kind of a weird day. But it'll be fine. I'm going to this place in about 40 minutes north-ish of here. That's this quaint little like shopping village. It's called Peddler's Village. It's near New Hope. If you're familiar with the southeastern PA area, it's open year-round. Generally, my sister and my cousin and I like to go in December, just because it's a good you can do a lot of holiday shopping in one fell swoop. It's really cool. They have some really niche stores. They've got like a new agey place. They've got a couple of bookstores. They've got a kitchen store. There's this like boutique pet shop that sells organic, crazy expensive pet treats and stuff. There's a homemade candy shop that makes their own fudge. There's an antique map store. There's this place that does like German clockwork stuff. So lots of hand-carved wood clock mechanisms and cuckoo clocks and things like that, just to name a few. So that's where we're going tomorrow. And what's cool about Peddler's Village is because they always decorate for the holidays. There's not really a whole many Hanukkah things because there just aren't that many Jews that far from Philadelphia. They have beautiful decorations, and they also every year have this beautiful like gingerbread house display. So hopefully that is up. It's a little early in the month, so we might not see that. So hopefully I'll be able to do a little filming tomorrow of Peddler's Village. No promises, because my sister, my cousin, and I yak a lot. So we talk. So who knows? I didn't get that much done crafting wise today. I filled in a little bit more of the red on the ink circles, and I put a couple of rows in on the sock. Nothing to write home about. I did want to mention through the end of December, actually, and I had posted this on my shop Instagram, but not a lot of people follow my shop Instagram, which is fine because it's not very active, because I kind of fell off the horse because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I designed this pattern earlier this year as part of a Doctors Without Borders charity bundle that the Stitchers Collective was putting it together. I don't know if you can hear Josh yell at the dog. This is a charity pattern. It is always going to be a charity pattern. I have brought this out of the vault through the holiday season. This I stitched on a 40 count linen. You can stitch it on whatever fabric that strikes your fancy. There are no fractional stitches. There's no back stitching. There's no specialty stitches. It's just plain cross stitches. So you can stitch this on Aida. You can stitch this on Congress cloth. You could stitch it on burlap if you really wanted to. I used 2 colors of Stitchy Box silk, Bat Orchid and Poinsettia. You could, again, use what you prefer. So the minimum donation to Doctors Without Borders to obtain this chart is $10 US. And all you have to do, if you would like this chart, is email me, email address below, email me a screenshot of your receipt or just a copy of your receipt, whatever works for you, and I will send you this pattern. And if you stitch it, I would love for you to tag me on social media. I would love to see your stitching. A stitcher in Australia stitched this earlier this year. She bought the Stitchers Collective pattern bundle and she completely switched up the colors and she stitched it on this beautiful hand-dyed Aida, and it was really cool. This is a line from the Talmud. If you have seen the film Schindler's List, you may have heard this line before. One who saves a single life saves the world entire. And I just thought that was very appropriate for Doctors Without Borders. Otherwise known as Médecins Sans Frontières in French, MSF, which I put in a little garland there. So I finished this as a little flat fold. This is held together with Eileen's tacky glue and a whole lot of hope. So, but I think for my first flat fold, I think it turned out quite well. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. The dog is being whack. I hope that you're having a good week, and I will see you tomorrow.